All right, round two with RAS for a very, very busy Thursday morning, a massive slate on deck. And so we are going to get right to it as we get to the second release show of the day. A good comment that I saw in the chat was saying that we should do a subscriber only release show to get rid of a lot of the people faking the market. I think that's probably a good idea as well. And so that's an encouragement again. I'm going to keep pushing it. As long as we're doing the shows, I'm going to keep pushing. The subscribe button's down below. Helps out the channel, but also gets you those push notifications. You would have got one 30 minutes ago. You just hit it. You set the reminder. You're never going to miss another release show as we go forward. With all that said, because it is such a busy card, we're going to get right down to it and be sort of wary of the time that we're taking up from you this morning to get all of these bets in. So we will pull up the odds screen and we will get to the first setup of the second show. For those asking about the subtitles, because you're watching on mute, you don't want to have the boss or anyone in the office coming by to see what's going on as you're enjoying these shows. We'll have those back in a show or two. I'll explain why when we get those back in a couple of shows. First setup for the second show. Game number 827. Pacific, San Diego over 151 at 7 p.m. Pacific. 827 Pacific, San Diego over 151 at 7 p.m. Pacific. A few more seconds to find and set up. 827 Pacific, San Diego over 151. 827 Pacific, San Diego over 151 is a cancel. We're not betting Pacific, San Diego over 151. Go ahead, remove it from the bet slip. Here we go. Setup number 2 of the second show. Game number 828, Pacific, San Diego under 151, 7 p.m. Pacific. Game number 828, Pacific, San Diego under 151 at 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll give everybody another 10 seconds to find and set up 828, Pacific, San Diego under 151. Game number 828, Pacific, San Diego under 151 is a cancel. We're not betting Pacific, San Diego under 151. It is a cancel. Everybody who was jumping the market early is now on a irrelevant side for this Thursday evening card. Moving on with the next setup. We are going to game number 837 Cal State Fullerton plus 5.5. This game is at 7 p.m. Pacific time. 837 Cal State Fullerton plus 5.5. Give everybody 10 more seconds to find and set up Cal State Fullerton plus 5.5. $837 Cal State Fullerton plus 5.5 is a go. You're betting Cal State Fullerton plus 5.5. This is a go. Couple books lingering behind as we see it on the board. Couple books taking it off altogether. Interesting change of tone from one of them specifically in the middle of the board. 5.5 is the price on Cal State Fullerton. Game number 837 was a go. Good for Nicholas, good for Hale, good for Edgar, good for Jim. Spade got it as well. Maxwell was able to get the 5.5. Same with Steven, Kevin, Chris. Zach was able to get a 6, although not sure the validity of that one. Eric was able to get a 5. Same with Nico. 6 for John as well. Todd was able to get a 5.5. Same with Sean. Looks like a successful release to begin the second show of the day. We will get to the next setup in just a couple of seconds. Give everybody a chance to reset and get back to their menu. The next setup is game number 830 Cal State Bakersfield Pick'em. Game is at 7 p.m. Pacific time. 830 Cal State Bakersfield at a pick'em, 7 p.m. Pacific. Game number 830, Cal State Bakersfield pick'em is a go. We're betting Cal State Bakersfield at a pick'em. That is a go. Submit the bet from your bet slip immediately. A couple more books still lingering behind. A good cue for anybody watching the show. 830 Cal State Bakersfield is a go. West Coast guy was able to get a pick'em. Spade went money line minus 110. Carl was money line minus 115. Eric was able to find a pick. Also saw Aaron plus 1.5. Steven plus 1 on the other side. Jason was able to get a pick'em as well. Looks like there were some varying prices on that, better than the release. Jim was able to get the find 2. Sam got the pick'em as well. Same with Devin. John. Bryce was able to get FanDuel, who's been causing a lot of people in the chat some trouble this morning with how quickly they have been moving. Graham was able to get a pick'em. LD Yanks was able to get plus 1 as well. So another good release on Cal State Bakersfield. A few more seconds to reset, and we will get to the next setup. There was a question in the chat looking at the odds screen. I get what the red means, but they're asking about the purple as well as the black. And those are just time increments, 15 and 45 seconds. So red is the immediate move. And then all of the other colors fade into different colors as the time elapses after the move occurs. So when you're seeing different changes in the color, that's just representing the time since the last move. Next setup. We're going to game number 814, Idaho plus 1.5. Game is at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Idaho plus 1.5. We'll give everybody a few more seconds to find and set up. Game number 814, Idaho plus 1.5. This game is at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Game number 814, Idaho plus 1.5 is a cancel. We are not betting Idaho plus 1.5. This is a cancel. And now we are going opposite. Sacramento State minus 1.5 is a bet. We're going with an opposite bet. Sacramento State minus 1.5. As long as books are going to jump, we're going to see the steam moving. We will go with the first opposite. Sacramento State minus 1.5 is a go. Bet it immediately. Sacramento State minus 1.5 is a go. Let us know where you were able to get the opposite on Sacramento State minus 1.5. This is a go. Same game. Jason was able to get the 1, half a point better. Edgar got the money line. Trevor got the money line. Connor got Sacramento State minus 1. Caesar was able to get 1.5 at FanDuel. Good on them for moving early. Got you a little bit better than the release price. Patrick was able to get 1 at Nitro. You see, Alex was able to get 1 at BetSafe. Sam was able to get 1.5. Jim was able to get 1 at PPH. Sean was able to get 1 at XBet as well. Same with Michael. David was able to find plus money on it. Kevin says, thank you, minus 0.5. We're also seeing Bill was able to get minus 120. Hawkeye was able to get minus 1.5. The old switcheroo, as mentioned in the comment, works well. And again, we're going to keep that alive as long as these are going to keep streaming. We're going to have the opposite as an option and have everybody who's jumping early accountable. So again, Sacramento State minus 1.5 is the release price that we will grade it at. Is a go. Game number 813 looks like a lot of folks were able to get that price, or in many cases better. Saw a lot of minus ones and a lot of halves coming up within the chat as well. So Sacramento State minus 1.5 was a go, and that is the opposite that we will keep in play on these streams. As long as people are trying to take advantage, jumping the gun, that goes for both bettors and sports books. Next bet that we are potentially looking at with a setup will be game number 751, Old Dominion Troy over 132 at 4 p.m. Pacific. Game number 751, Old Dominion Troy, over 132. This game is at 4 p.m. Pacific. One more time, 751, Old Dominion Troy, over 132. This game is at 4 p.m. Pacific. Game number 751, Old Dominion Troy, over 132 is a cancel. We are not betting 751, Old Dominion Troy, over 132. This is a cancel. But we are going to go opposite. Old Dominion Troy, under 132 is a go. Chris steamed. FanDuel went up 1.5. Other books steamed. Old Dominion Troy, under 132 is a go. You'll all be on the same game. Old Dominion Troy, under 132 is a go. Let us know what you were getting. We saw that Chris team go early. Same with FanDuel. Under 132 is a go. Michael Clark, 133. West Coast guy, 132.5. Same with Patrick Cooper. Nicholas, 132.5. Chris, 132.5. Jim, 132.5. A lot of 132.5s coming in as well. David, Will, Doug, lots of 132.5s coming in as well. And again, as long as these books are going to keep steaming, we'll keep it as an option. And whoever is on that, they're just not going to have time to get back the other way. So Ben was able to get the 132.5 as well. Same with Jared. Same with Zach. Same with Bobby. And Matthew, you got to give a little more warning. We're aware that this is obviously moving very quickly on the opposites. It's not ideal for us. It's not ideal for the show. And it's certainly not ideal for everybody following the show. It's very quickly, and we recognize that some people are not going to get that price. But the fact is that while this is happening and while we're seeing the steam go the other way and people trying to front run, that's not ideal for the show either. And that's not helping out anyone too. And so as we're seeing with the reverse or the opposite now brought into play, the goal here is to try to level the playing field and have people on both sides respecting the setup and go process. And so again, it's not an ideal situation for the show. It certainly seems to help for the time being, but as long as we're going to see this going out the other way and people not respecting the process, then we're going to keep it as an option to go along with the setup and go. So we're aware that it's not ideal for everybody, but that is part of this going the other way. So that'll do it for us today. Again, another number of releases. Old Dominion Troy, under 132. Sacramento State, -1.5. Cal State Bakersfield at the pick'em, and then Cal State Fullerton, +5.5. Those are 4 more releases to go with the releases earlier today on the first show, 9 of them in total. Someone said they were drinking every time I said it was a busy Thursday, so you're going to have another drink, because it was, in fact, a very busy Thursday. 30 minutes of your time here spent on the streams. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. We were above 1,000 people, both shows. Great to see that. Appreciate everybody, as always. If you want more of these shows, you want us to do it more often, hit the subscribe button. We will have details on more college basketball shows, as well as the potential service restart coming up. But I think you can expect another show or two on Saturday morning. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. We will see you on the next show.